Okay. So we need to draw the end view first. So we can take these lines up at 45 degrees from plan. So I take them 2 points up at 45 degrees. Then your heights from elevation will just come straight across. So there is only the 2 heights. Alright. And draw your lines up. Okay, so that's going to be the basic shape of our end view, but we will need to draw the lid on it as well, for that shape. Okay, so I'm just going to darken in what I have first, so it's the easy part. Everyone should be able to do this. Some people might even have done it themselves while they were waiting. Okay, so now we'll end up with a curve that should be coming down this direction here. Okay. I'm just going to let a couple of people in here. Okay, so we need to get the curve now that's coming down here. So how are we going to get that? What we will do is we'll split the semicircle here in plan up into 60-30, like what we always do. It's the easiest way to do it. Okay, I'm just going to turn my T-square sideways just so I can get the 60-30 set up handier, because it is on its edge. Shouldn't matter anyway, but speed it up. Okay, so that's the 60s, I'll do the 30s. So you'll end up with 7 points along the object here. Okay, so if it's split up now into 60-30, where the points kind of join or meet the circle, I'm going to just highlight them. So I'll label them as well. So that'll be 1, that'll be 2, 3, so on until you get to 7. Okay, so you should have the 7 points. And we need to take them straight up to touch the curved surface, which is in our elevation here. So obviously 4 is going to be along the edge, 5 and 3 should be along the same point, same with 6 and 2, and then 7 and 1 should be along the same point as well. So I'll just label them here. So that would be 1 and 7, that would be 2 and 6. Now it depends what numbers or what way you label the numbers here. 3 and 5, and the final point there would be 4, which should be on its own there. Okay. And the next thing then to do is to take these points across to this edge and then up at 45 degrees and up here, and these ones across to meet it, and you should end up with a curve coming down here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to extend all these lines at the same time just out to the edge of the plan just to speed it up. So they'll all have to come out individually here, and obviously 1 and 7 will be along the edge already, so you should already have them up. Take them up then at 45 degrees to the XY line. That, and then once you have that done, then just take them up straight to the top of the plan, or the end view even. Like that. So what I've done there is I've taken all these points, 1 to 7, straight across to here, up at 45 degrees. Now you could get your compass and rotate them up if you wanted to, and then just take the points up straight to the top. Okay. Now I'm going to take these points straight across to meet their corresponding points. So I know 1's going to be along here. So I'm just going to take 1 across. Well, I'm going to take it across the full way because 1 and 7 are on the same line. So that is going to be point 1 there, and that is going to be my point 7. Okay, so I know all the other points now are going to come down here. In actual fact, we have 4 already as well. That will be point 4 there. Okay, so 2 and 3 will be in here, and 5 and 6 will be in here somewhere. Okay, so I'll just take them points across. So 3 and 5 are on the same line, and then 2 and 6 are on the same line. So follow 6 up. 6 will give me a point there, 5 will be there, that'll be 3, and that'll be 2. Okay, you can see I have my points there. All you do then is just join them together. Freehand, so try and get a nice curve. You can. Okay. That's the end view done. Okay, so that's part 1 of the question completed. Part 2 then is to complete the surface development of the container excluding the lid. So in other words, we don't have to do the lid. Okay, so I'm going to move the sheet out of the way here now. Everyone hopefully should have it drawn anyway at this stage. It is up on Google Classroom anyway. Okay, so the development I'm going to draw over here. And again, I'm just going to extend the XY line and the height line across so that I can start doing the development in here. This development is fairly basic, it's easy to visualise, but there's slightly more work in it than the other questions we would have done so far. Just extend the XY line across, and I'm going to extend the height line across, which again should be 40 millimeters. Okay. Now, we need to get the width of the kind of front part, which you would get from your end view, but it should be 40 anyway. Okay, so just pick a starting point somewhere. So I'm going to say start there and come over 40. Okay, so you end up with them 2 lines, and what you can do then is just take them up straight to meet the top. So this is where development is going to start. Okay, this is where we're going to start our development. If you like, that could be the back corner, this corner here. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do next is go out and do the 2 sides. So this is the back corner here, so now we have to do these 2 sides. So if you open them out, they're going to be along here, and it's going to come across, and it's going to slope down a bit, and down, and it's going to be the same on the other side. And they're going to meet then at point 4. Okay? So what I need to do is measure this distance here, which is 30. So I know there's a straight part that's 30 across either side. So I'm just going to do the 2 sides at the same time just to speed it up. So you can measure across 30 on both sides. And then we have this little bit here then, which should be 10. So then you can come across then another 10. Okay, like that. On both sides again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 10 line down, like that, and the same here. Okay. Okay, the next thing then we have to do is we know there's going to be kind of a slope here and a slope here. Okay, now hopefully I don't run out of room here and run onto that. It should be alright, hopefully. Okay. Should be alright. Now, these 10 points come over to 1 and 0.7. Okay. Now, we need to take that height across. So the easy thing about extending the XY line and drawing the development on the XY line is I can just take this height here across to there and there. And it gives me a point there, and it gives me a point there. Okay, otherwise you would have had to measure this distance here. Okay, which comes straight down, it's about 0.8 mil roughly. Okay, and at this stage you can start to kind of draw on a few dark lines if you want. So from there to there would be a dark line, and the same from here to that point there. Okay, now don't darken on this bit yet, they'll probably be fold lines or dotted lines. You can darken on them little slopes that we've done as well. From there to there. Okay. So the next thing now is to get all these points, half of them here and half of them here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start on one side. So I'm going to say I'm going to do 1 here. So 1, then I'm going to go the whole way to 4. So I'll just label that point there. So that's 1, I'll be coming out 2, 3 and 4. So as we always do, get your compass and measure one of these distances. They should all be the same. So I've taken the distance there between 2 and 3 using my compass. I'm going to swing them out. So that'll be 2, 3, and that will give me point 4 to there. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same on the other side. So this will be 0.7. Now remember, 7 needs to go back to join 4. Okay, because if you were to cut this development out, 4 and 4 would have to meet at the front. So I measure across 6, 5, and again that'll let me off at 4. Okay. Then what we need to do is take our heights across them from our elevation. So I'm going to start off with the bottom height there for 4, which is here. Take it across. Now, I didn't label these, I'll just label them for you. So that'll be 6, 5, and 4. That'll be 2, 3, and 4. So I've taken the height of 4 across, so obviously I have 4 on both sides. So you can draw that line up. I'm going to draw it as a dark line because I know it's going to be a straight dark line up like that. And the same here, because if I cut the development, them two lines would have to meet each other. Okay, what we'll do is I'll extend dark line on there and across here as well. Okay, again notice how I'm not doing anything here because there'll be fold lines there or dotted lines. Okay, very simply then just take these 2 points across, okay, to the corresponding points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw the 2 of them straight across quickly, and then I'm going to draw the other point up to meet them. So point 2 needs to come up to meet this line here. Okay, and 3 there needs to come up to meet that point there. That then gives me a point there, and it gives me a point there. Okay, what I can do then is just join them points together like that. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. 6 and 5, 5 goes to there, 6 goes to there. Again, just join the points together. Like that. Okay, so that's kind of the 2 sides all done. What we've left to do now is just the top and the bottom. Okay. So the edges have to be the same here for the base. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to extend these 2 lines down for the base. Take them down straight like that. I don't know how far I need them yet. What I can do then is I can just get my compass, like whenever I cut this out, whatever distance it is from there to there, it has to be the same from there to there and there to there. Okay, so I'm just going to use my compass for this. Put the point of the compass there. That length there is probably, it should be 40 anyway. But I'm just going to swing them down like that. If you wanted to, you could do the exact same thing on the other side to know you're right. And then if you get your T-square, you should hopefully find that the 2 of them will join up together for you. Okay, and again that doesn't should be 40, so you could have measured it if you wanted to. Okay, but just to show you the theory behind it, I'll draw the arcs. Okay. And then at the front then we have our semicircular curve, so just draw that in. So just get your center point. So the center point will be at 20. Get your compass, set it to radius 20. And draw your arc like that. Then you can darken on them lines then. Okay, so that's what the base would look like. Come up like that. And I'm just going over this freehand just so you can see it as a dark line with the pen. Okay. That's the base, the back, the 2 sides that will join together. The only part now we have to do is the top. Now remember, we don't have to do the lid. So all we're doing on the top is kind of the square part here. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Same way as we done the base, really. Or you can just, basically what you're drawing is that through shape there. So just straight lines up from both corners, like that and that. And then if you want, again, you can get the compass or you can measure the sizes and plan. The theory would be that you fold that across, same on the other side. You should find that they should meet, hopefully. When you line them up like that, so they should meet. I'm going to extend this line down to there and this one down to there. So that is actually our development. Now, you would have dotted lines then just in here because they would have been fold lines. So just draw them on quickly. Just you would be expected to draw the fold lines in the exam to show that you understand that it would be a fold line if you were to cut out the development. Okay. So if I was to label that, that would be the back corner or the back part. That would be the base. That would be the top. And I suppose that would be the left side and the right side. Okay. Now the only part we didn't draw is the actual lid part here. So if you look at the question, we're not asked to draw the lid, excluding the lid. Okay. Now they do ask you to draw the true shape of the lid. Okay, so there's a part 3 to that question that asks for the true shape of the lid. So where would we see the true shape of the lid? Well, this is the angle that the lid is at. You see it there in the elevation. So we could actually just draw an auxiliary looking in 90 degrees to that line, and you could draw the lid. Alright, now you could draw an XY line, or you could just extend it exactly onto that point. Either way, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, I'm just going to use, well no, we'll draw an XY line. Well, no, we won't actually, because I don't know what angle that's at. So I'm just going to use that line as my XY line. Okay, to extend the lid. Now the lid goes from point 4 there, the whole way across to there. Okay, so the height or the length of that we see in plan, which is 30. Okay, the height of that will be 30. Let me see, it's actually going that way, so what we'll end up with is, I'll just sketch it over here for the true shape. It's actually going to be this way. There'll be a straight part there, and then you'd have a kind of curve. You'd see it as a big kind of oval curve. So it's actually going to look like that. So what I'm actually going to do is we are actually going to extend out here. Okay, so I'm just going to measure across here at 40. Okay. Mark two 40s, and basically you need to draw a line that's parallel to that line there. So you can draw your sliding set. You can use your sliding set squares. Okay, I'm going to draw a point there. Okay, so it's just a line out. I think it came out 40 or something like that. Should be enough room. Okay, because the overall length of it is 40, so I should only be coming 20 either side of this line. Alright. Now, if you line up a set square with that line, it'll allow you then to take up 4, 3, 5, 6, 2, 1 and 7 all up. Okay, so just draw light lines, extending them lines up. I can move the camera a bit because it's on my way. You're just extending them lines up, light lines. 1 and 7, you'll need the end point as well if the lid attaches or hinges onto the object. Okay. And then all you're doing then, guys, see the distances down here in the plan? So the distance from here to here, here to here, and so on. You can just take them distances then. Okay, so I'm going to use the compass for that, nice and quickly. So the base length will be that, it should be 20, and 1 should be 20 as well. So what I can do is mark the two of them at the same time. So that's going to be a straight line. Do the same on the other side. Okay. And then point 2 and point 6 will be the same. There'll be that distance there, whatever that is. Mark it off on both sides. And then to draw a light line in between 3 and 5 because I didn't draw it earlier. And you can get that distance there between the centre and 3. And whatever that is, it should be the same for the centre to 5. Mark them off. There. Mark it off there. Obviously point 4 should be in the middle. Okay. Point 4 should be in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll label all these points. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then that's just the 2 points then that join onto the lid. Okay, so you can just darken that in then, guys, and that is the question completed. Again, that would be a straight line from there to there. Same across here. The rest of it then is a freehand curve. So take your time, get the curve right. There is marks going for how neat and how realistic your curve looks. So take your time, go over it lightly first, be the best practice, then go over it dark then again. I have a marker so it'll not look great. Okay. But that then is your through shape of the lid. Okay. And that's the question finished. Okay. So that's that question done.